guys. But I'm going to pass the mic. So guys, if we're actually going to, Tanner, we're going to start with you. And we're going to just the same question each of you. If you just answer the question and then pass the mic over to the actor to your right. And then if it makes its way back to me, we've done this pretty good, okay? So the question is, how old were you when you first started acting? And what was your first professional role? All right, I'll repeat that in a second. I just want to give you one more little tip on the Q&A. Again, keep the questions general, so any of the actors could answer them. And I had another point. I will bring that up in a second when I remember what it was. But okay, let's take it over. How old were you when you first started acting? And what was your first professional role? You want to take the mic, thanks.
I think I was 5 or 6 when I started acting. And my first professional role, I think, was my first job, my Walmart commercial.
Well, I don't know the exact age, but I've been acting for a good amount of time. And my first real sort of movie was I did a horror movie called The Skeptic in 2nd grade. So.
We're going to put that on our must-see list. I don't recall seeing that, but I'll look for that one now. Tommy?
I think I was 7. It was a movie called The Good Shepherd. Yeah, I was getting a little buzz there. I heard that. I heard some of that. You might be a little familiar with it. Yeah.
I started acting when I was about a month old, and there's a funny story. My mom was originally an actor, and she got a call from Law & Order looking for a pregnant lady. She said, no, I already had the kid. They said, hold on a second. 5 minutes later, they come back and saying, can we use a kid? And so my first job was being on Law & Order, being held by Mark Ruffalo as a baby.
I was like 5 or 6 when I started acting, but my first professional role was in an off-Broadway play called The Gingerbread House, where I played a kid called Curtis. It was really fun.
I was 6. My first professional role was in a musical tour called 101 Dalmatians.
Yeah, I probably started acting like a year or so ago. This is actually the first movie I did. My school actually just got me the audition for this for some random reason. So this is the first thing I've ever done. So.
I started acting when I was about like 3 or 4, and my first professional role was probably this.
I guess I started taking like acting lessons and stuff when I was in 3rd grade, I think. But yeah, this is my first real anything like professional role and that kind
Actually, now Jared is correct. This is his first, but when you start something, you really go all out, don't you? This is a pretty big start to a career. But, Jared, for those of you that were regulars at our Haunted Manor, Jared's first non-professional acting role, which he did a spectacular job, was as an actor for our haunted house. He was a ghoul, and he also did a promo video for us. So, and I have those. So I believe they're. Are they bootleg? Well, listen, I've got the original. I'm going to have you autograph them. Okay, so they're going to be worth a lot of money. Okay, so thank you very much. Who would have known? That's fantastic. I know the Gilmans and everyone is very proud. So we also want to thank the families of all these actors that came out to make the trip. So I remember what I was going to say about the tip with the questions. When you, I have some already submitted from people. So if you don't hear a question you have in mind, then feel free to ask. Does anyone have a question that we want to start with by show of hands? Okay, I see a blue shirt. That's as good as my eyes do. So why don't you yell out your question if you could?
When do you know that you want to start, not like professional, but just when you liked acting and you started watching movies? Like how and when did you start getting a real interest besides just like really noticing the actors?
All right, so I think the question was, when did you first get the acting bug? When did you first decide you wanted to be an actor? Is that the right question? All right, well said. right, well, how about LJ? Why don't you give it a try? Let's see. Well, here's where we're going to practice with the mic. Okay.
Actually, my mom was an actress when she was a kid. Nothing too major, but so I kind of got into it through her. So that's kind of how I got into it, and kind of just ran with it, I guess.
That's great. Now, I did read on one of your resumes that somebody started acting at 1 month. Okay, now how did you decide to get into acting?
I don't think my brain had fully developed at that time. So it wasn't a forced question. It was kind of like, do you want to do this? And I just looked, and they were like, yeah, he's going to do this. Okay.
I gotta try not to call you Damien while I'm looking at you, because you really, I keep thinking Damien, but that's great. You got a great acting career. That's wonderful. So, all right, here's a question that was submitted by one of our audience goers on the way in. Let me get to that page. Okay, what special non-acting skills did you have to develop for this film, or perhaps talents that you already had? So we obviously saw some bugle playing, some bow and arrowing, and other things. So who wants to take that on? Maybe Lucas, you want to take it on? Here, give it a try.
Well, my character has to ride a motorcycle in the movie, so something that they had to give me motorcycle riding lessons, and it's like a really, really old motorcycle, so you have to do like 20 different things to get it started, and it's just like, just a terrible motorcycle, but it's hard to get used to.
Well, in order to prepare for the movie, I had to do a couple of weeks of canoeing lessons. And I also had to learn how to cook over an open fire and flip a fish. But yeah, that's it.
Thanks, Joe. Oh, by the way, we're all curious. The pork dog, that was a prop, right?
Well, I mean that the panning shot that you saw, obviously that was I think that was the dog with like blood put on him or something.
Yeah, I hope the answer is yes.
Yes, I mean, yeah.
Anyone else want to add a comment?
I had to learn the bugle because I was going with the eye patch and the bugle. I had like 4 weeks of like intensive bugle training, but so yeah, it's a really unforgiving instrument. There is no leeway with the bugle. A bugle is you will do this and you will do this and you will not have any wiggle room, nothing. But it was really fun.
Oh, that's great. And Seamus wanted to add something?
In the canoeing sequence that you saw when we were going to the other island, I forget what it's called. It's Island Jackwood, or St. Jackwood. There were stunt doubles, and then there were some other kids. I think the kid who played Gadge, me, Gabe, and a couple of other guys. It was funny. The props made this canoe, but it had like a flat back, so they had to put stabilizers on it. And we didn't have to take any canoeing lessons, but there were kayakers pulling us, and they were really unstable, so it was quite a challenge to do.
Yeah, that's the reason why me and LJ decided to use our stunt doubles for that scene. Yeah, all the other kids were like, yeah, we can't wait to do this canoeing scene. It's like freezing cold, and we get in, it's like about to tip over. I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing this. No way. That's all I had to add.
Maybe you can hand the mic over to Tanner. We're going to go with the next question. This one will do the mic passing back. I'm figuring out how to get the mic back to me. So here we go. How about this? It was obviously this was a storied cast. You had legendary actors, unbelievable lineup. So why don't you just tell us who was your favorite actor that you were most excited to work with? They're not here, so you can say their name. So Tanner, how about you?
I really don't have a favorite.
You're a future politician.
I kind of just like everyone in the thing.
Let me ask you this. Can everyone hear me? Because this might help. Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, here we go. Tanner was just, well, everyone heard Tanner. You mentioned you didn't have a favorite. Well, why don't we do this? How about, what's a lesson you learned from one of the seasoned and experienced adult actors that you've been able to incorporate into your own acting career?
I'm not sure.
Okay, there we go. Thank you, Tanner. Okay, I'm now going to pass the mic back. You can take the same question.
Well, I was most excited to work with Bill Murray because he's obviously one of the best comedic actors of all time. Big fan of his performance in Caddyshack, but great movie. Yeah, Bill Murray was the person I was most excited to work with.
Bruce Willis. Oh, okay. I don't know. I wasn't really excited. I mean, they're all great actors and stuff. Wasn't.
No feedback on the mic. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I was, once I heard that Bruce Willis and Bill Murray were in this, I was like super excited, but really I was really excited for Bill Murray because I'm a big fan of Ghostbusters, and I was like, every time the phone rings, I'm like, who are you gonna call? Yeah. And it was really fun working with him.
Bill Murray, of course, was great. Love him in Ghostbusters, Groundhog Day, which I'm surprised no one mentioned. But personally, I was probably the most excited to work with Jason Schwartzman. I have loved Rushmore, Fantastic Mr. Fox, Scott Pilgrim. God, do I love that movie. Bored to Death, love the show.
Why didn't I say that? I'm sorry. I was excited to work with him.
And they're both great actors. Bill Murray, great actor. Jason Schwartzman, great actor. Bill Murray, great dancer.
I was probably most excited to work with Bruce Willis. That's because of like how great of an actor he was, but I just really wanted to see who he was in comparison to who you see he is on screen. And he's really like how you see him. He's exactly like how you see him.
I was really excited to work with Ed Norton, actually. Like, I just love Fight Club. Fight Club's a great movie, and especially in this movie, he's just the exact opposite as his character in Fight Club. Yeah, he was good with his lines, but he was just, yeah, that's who I was excited.
I was most excited to work with Bill Murray because I love Ghostbusters and Groundhog Day.
Well, truly, I'm a huge movie buff, so I had known of all of them, and I was such big fans of everyone. So it's really hard for me to say who I was really most excited for. I don't know, excited for all of them, because I'm a huge fan.
Well, you know, there was a lot of people to pick from, but you know what, Jared, while you have the mic, let me ask you this, because you had a chance to also work with Wes Anderson, legendary film director, as well as some superstar producers. So why don't you share for us as we close up the Q&A, and we're going to wrap up with one final question to the whole cast, but why don't you describe for people what a typical day was like on the set? Because I think people were asking on the way in, you know, I wonder what it was like to be a Hollywood star and all that. So maybe you can share a little about that, and also what you did on your downtime, because I'm hoping it wasn't all work, but why don't you give it a go?
Okay, that's a good question. It's kind of tough to answer that kind of thing because it was the days are so different. Because I mean, you didn't know what you were gonna do until you did it, and sometimes some days can range from working on set like the entire time to being in school the entire day. So really, I guess you would wake up and get into your costume in the hotel room, and then you would be picked up by a van, driven to set, wherever that is, and then there we would either work or go to school, and throughout the morning we would either work or school, and then we would have lunch, then go back to either work or school, and yeah, and then after we did everything, we would just go back home, go back to the hotel, have some dinner, and go to bed. But really, it also varied how many scenes that we had to shoot that day, as well. So there's that.
And while we're still talking to Jared, I have another question for you, because now, for those of you that don't know, Moonrise Kingdom opened the film festival at Cannes. That is very impressive. So what was it like being on? We all saw the pictures, but you were there. You were surrounded by all the celebrities, but you were a celebrity yourself. What did it feel like being there?
I don't know. It's really hard to put it into words. I know you're gonna probably get this from a lot of people, and you're gonna be so tired of, why can't you just make up a word or something? But you really can't. It's just too good for words, I guess. Just the feeling is really amazing, and you just feel really honored, I guess. And it's unbelievable. You're gonna find yourself, if you end up somehow there, you're gonna be pinching yourself a lot.
Thanks, Jared. And we're going to now we have time for one more question from the first hand go up. What's the question?
Was there any scenes that were deleted that you wish that they weren't?
Oh, that's an interesting one. Wow. Okay. Well, let's see. Why don't we give Lucas a shot at that one? What do you think? Mike again? Okay. Well, let me ask you this: Who in here has an idea on that? Because I don't know what scenes. Oh, sorry. Okay. Be nice, people. Don't get mad at the actors. Get mad at me. But the question was, which scenes were deleted? Oh, which scene? That was a very good question. Well said. Which scenes were deleted from the movie that you wish stayed in? Is that the question? Very well done. So, who wants to? Anyone have a thought on that? No, you're all happy with what was the final cut?
I can't really remember all the scenes, but I remember there's one scene with Sam and Susie where Susie slaps Sam. I don't remember the context, but I just remember really looking forward to seeing that. I that too. I mean, I agree with Lucas. Basically it's one that the dog does, and we're looking over it, and that scene was originally like much longer, because there's a point, because originally Susie was freaking out, saying we need to get to a doctor, we need to get to a vet or whatever, and I'm like telling her to calm down, we can't do anything, it's dead, and then it comes to a point where I slap her because she gets like really like intense, and then she just like looks at me and she like, so that's one of those, and I just kind of react, and I kind of go off screen, and I come back, and I apologize, and then that's when she says, was it a good dog, and then I say, who's to say, but he didn't deserve to die, that part. So, yeah.
Thank you, Jared. And I see Tanner's hand is up, so I'm going to come over onto this side, and Tanner, what was your scene that was cut? Or were you in it, or is it a different one?
I was in it. The scene where we're playing the ping pong game. In the original thing, Wyatt and I were actually playing, but they cut the two of us, so it was just Jake. The scene.
That'll be in the director's cut and the DVD, right? Those reappear. They have a second life. Okay, our final question. I'm going to pose it to all the actors. I'm going to hold the mic the whole time, so forgive me for having my backs to the rest of you. But as we go through this, Tanner, we'll start with you. Just tell us what's next for you. You can. Now, I understand you have quite a blockbuster movie coming out in 2013. You've been pretty busy. Shakespeare's Daughter?
Yeah.
I'm giving away all the good stuff. I hope you have something else to contribute. I didn't mean to steal your thunder, but that's very impressive. Very good.
Somewhere here, there's another person in Shakespeare's Daughter.
Where is she?
Up here, or in the audience? Is that right? What's your sister's name?
Claire?
Claire, and are you two connected at all? No? Okay, Claire, well, raise your hand, Claire. We have another actor in the room? That's it, Claire. Nice hand. That's wonderful. All right, so you got a good movie coming out, Tanner. Well, good luck with that, okay? We're going to look forward to that. Now LJ, what's next for you? It could be movies, summer vacation, school, whatever you want to say.
To be honest with you, I'm big in athletics, so I kind of slipping away from the acting. So, won't really have time for it when I'm in like high school, because
This is your swan song. This is pretty good, right? You all agree? That's pretty good. You might be back as an adult. They see reality TV all the time, you know. All right, I broke my rule. I'm going to hold on to the mic, but tell me what's next for you.
While LJ may be slipping away from acting, I'm just gonna book out because, to be honest with you, I find it really boring. I'm lying. I'm not trying to be funny. Like, it's just very tedious. The process every day, like Jared said, it's just. And I felt really bad for Jared too during filming because, like, you know, we all had like a lot of downtime, but he was filming every day, so he had to like do school for like hours and hours. But you know, it's just. I don't know. I'm just not gonna do it. I did a movie though called Spaz. It's my last one. Go see it. Yeah.
Good flow. All right, Seamus, how about you?
Well,
I just shot a new movie called Northern Borders, where I play the lead, and it's kind of like Jared's situation. I worked every single day that they were shooting, and at least shot every single day, more than any of the other people that were in it. And that it was just really fun. It's got Bruce Dern and Geneviève Bujold in it. It's gonna be really awesome.
Wish you good luck with that. Charlie.
I really have no clue what's in my future. It's all just swirling clouds. I'm just gonna go with the flow, see whatever happens, and just roll with it. Because it's looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, I think that's a quotable line of the night. That's pretty good. It's all swirling clouds. I like that. That was very good. Gabriel, how about you?
Kind of what Charlie said, and I'm also going to do a movie with Seamus actually, called Sincerely Camp Starlight. So that should be cool. Should be fun.
Oh, good luck with that too. How about you, Lucas?
I filmed a movie in November with Colin Firth and Emily Blunt, and that should come out in the fall, I think, sometime.
And do I understand you also have a movie coming out in 2013, Labor Day?
I'm actually filming that next week, so.
I didn't even start filming it, and that's got a...
They're starting to film, but my character doesn't film until like a week from now.
Because that's got a big time cast too. Well, good luck with that too. We'll look for that. Okay, Wyatt, we're up to you. What's next for you on the horizon? Summer vacation? Another movie?
I'm not doing another movie. I don't really know what I'm doing for the summer, but
Well, you're young. You have time to figure it out, right? Maybe go swimming?
yeah,
You going to the beach? I see you got a good summer plan. Jared, we're going to finish up with you. What's your summer plans? Or summer plans? What are your plans? You got plans past the summer, but what are your plans for the future?
Well, really, I'm just auditioning for other things, and I'm really hoping that my next movie's as good as this. And off of what Tommy said, I actually disagree. I actually have a lot of fun acting. I don't know. I want to continue this.
Well, I didn't hear you mention reappearing at the Haunted Manor, but we won't hold that against you because we don't have one booked yet. But you would come back, wouldn't you? We'll raise the ticket price, I promise. All right, let's give all our actors a hey, listen, if you want to